Hey there guys, welcome to another Copy 70 video here again today. Today we're going to be looking at the American T14 and M4A5 RAM. I think these are very good American premium tanks to pick up. So today I'm just going to be showcasing them in a little short kill compilation video, and then I will more or less talk about why I enjoy these two vehicles a little bit afterwards. But just if you don't know, that the M4A5 is a rank 2 and the T14 is a rank 3. I plan to get separate kill comps for these two vehicles as I finished up the American tree, and I figured I would like to include some content on my American tree since I've been doing a lot of Sweden recently. So I just wanted to throw in a couple of fun short videos on these guys. So without further ado, here we go. Hey guys, so as you just saw, the T14 and the M4A5 RAM are tons of fun for their BR. Personally, I really enjoy the M4A5 a lot more. I have had the M4A5 for a hell of a lot longer than I had the T14. Prompting me to get the T14 was that a friend of mine owned the T14, and he was like, "Oh, you should get the T14 because, you know, we're gonna have the best of fun together." And I was like, "Oh, you know what? Let's give the T14 a shot." So I went and got the T14, and I can say I have had tons of fun with it. Out of all of the premium tanks that I own, the T14 is probably my second favorite, obviously right after the M4A5 RAM. And you might be wondering why the M4A5 RAM is my favorite. It doesn't have APHE or anything, but it does get a very solid performing solid shot round. I couldn't think of a best way to say a solid shot round. I didn't want to say that, but you get what I mean. Has around roughly, I think, 122 millimeters of pen for a 57 millimeter. It is very punchy, and its reload rate is insane, as you'll see in the M4A5 gameplay video. That the M4A5 has a very punchy reload, and it can get the job done. If you get the M4A5 on a nice flank, you will absolutely destroy. And even if you do get into even if you do get up BR'd, you will struggle a little bit, like every tank will. But the M4A5 still has that flexibility and the round and the rate of fire to keep you fighting, and especially if you know where to aim and you know how to aim for weak points and you're able to just land your shots, you will find that the M4A5 is not a tank to underestimate whatsoever. So I really enjoy the M4A5 for that reason, and as you'll see here in the gameplay video, we're going to get ourselves into a very sticky situation later on in this battle, and you're going to quickly see that the M4A5 is really able to push through those engagements, even when it comes to firing at heavily armored tanks that you'll see here in a bit. Now, I'm not going to say that the T14 can't do the same. The T14 does lack in penetration with the APHE round. I believe it's 104 millimeters of penetration. You do get the APHE though, so it is kind of that trade-off of, like, you can have higher one-shot potential, but then you sacrifice a lot of penetration for it. But the T14 though is very good at angling. Once you can angle up your target, you can pretty much really not ever be penetrated by any of the enemy vehicles. But there is the small issue though of it is at 4.7, and if you do get up BR'd, you're going to be up to 5.7, and you're going to be fighting a lot of German 88s and even some bigger Soviet guns that will pose a pretty big threat for your T14. But that is something that, you just got to take into consideration when you're playing with these premiums, because, I mean, every tank can get up BR'd, but when you are the one that is up BR'ing somebody else, it is an absolute stomp. That I can say happily, though. But I do still prefer the Ram over these two vehicles. But yeah, the T14 is still tons of fun. I love playing with it with my friends here and having a good time when we play 4.7, because it is honestly a very reliable tank to angle with and just have fun with in general. Both of these vehicles are tons of fun. I would recommend picking them up at some point if you're grinding down the American tree. I got these tanks a little late in my American grinding, so I didn't really get to utilize them for the purpose of getting more experience. The Ram, though, I did have for credit grinding, because before I was a premium account person, this was a great vehicle to have towards credit grinding. You throw it in a good solid 4.0 lineup or 3.7, you will dominate. And even if you do lose, if you have a good credit booster up with you, you will do just fine. That I can happily say with the M4A5 Ram. Now, as you're seeing here in this battle, we've managed to secure kills on not one but 3 Churchills. I was a bit hesitant when I was in this battle. I was like, I don't want to push these Churchills because I don't know if I can really go through them reliably. But as it turns out, the Ram really just doesn't care what you're in. It will go through and it will do some serious damage to you and your friends, hands down. And that, I think, is what makes the Ram tons of fun to play with, is that you can really trust it to get you out of hairy situations. As stated before, though, make sure that you do know your positioning on maps. Here on Abandoned Factory, I think this is probably one of the better maps that we could have gotten in with the M4A5 Ram. Obviously, we were able to utilize some positions and set up some crossfires there and really get the enemy team on the ropes. But yeah, so I would personally pick up these 2 tanks. These are my personal favorites for premiums for the American ground tree. So if you're grinding America, or you're thinking about starting grinding America, I would say pick these up at some point. Very fun vehicles. There's also another American premium tank that I do have at 6.0, the T20. I might make a video on that at some point. That's not a bad vehicle as well. I do enjoy that, and it does get a really punchy APAG round for 6.0 as well. But I think these two is probably a good place to start, especially the Ram, because I don't remember exactly how much GE it costs, but it's really not too much. I think it's around I think it's under 1,000 GE. So it is definitely worth picking up. So that's just my little advice there. And as we're getting to the end of the video here, I do just want to say thank you guys for really catching on to the War Thunder content. It was kind of a bit of a gamble trying to post some War Thunder and really step out of what this channel used to be. So I'm very grateful for all of you new subscribers who are subscribing to the channel and enjoying the videos, and I'm also still very happy for all of you existing subscribers who are appreciating this change in content, because I know it's not always the easiest to see a shift in content so easily, because I went from one completely opposite, one thing to another that are complete opposites. And but yeah, I think me making War Thunder content, though, is tons of fun, and I enjoy it a lot. Because sitting here and being able to record these videos and do voiceovers or whatever is a lot of fun. So I do really enjoy it. But yeah, I think we're gonna end this game around with 9 kills here in the Ram. This was a pretty good game. I was really happy with this. I was like, let's go and put this in the video here to showcase it. But yeah, we did get a bad shot there on the M42, but you know what? It's all right. The Ram is the Ram, and the rate of fire here is pretty good, so it doesn't really ever matter. But yep. So my 2 little things about the T14 and the Ram: don't forget to angle. Make sure you pick them up at some point. They're very good vehicles. I don't really think you can really not make profit from them in any way, or not have any kind of fun with them. So yeah, just have fun, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield very soon. Bye-bye.